just stick my head in here. Hi. So I'm right in her underarm. All of the products you guys see me using today, you can buy on my website, beeliciouswax.com. I photobombed my own video. Okay, so I am starting just to prep. I'm using a little bit of dusting powder. Mm-hmm. This is going to help absorb any excess moisture or oil, mm-hmm, so that the wax will adhere to the skin. Basic stuff. When you're looking at the hair, as I mentioned earlier, the underarm can be really tricky because the hair can be coarser. As you can see, she's got not a ton of hair, but it's fairly coarse. And her hair grows like a tornado. It's like all different directions. So you want to make sure that you're applying your wax in the direction of the growth to get the best, cleanest hair removal and to cause and to minimize any breakage. This is my Pina Colada hard wax. I'm going to have you hold right here and pull a bit tighter. And I'm having her pull to get the skin as tight as possible so that I can get the best application possible.
Oh, what we do.
What we do.
Like, I always think, I'm like, who's the first chick that ever said, let's wax? That. Like, what dummy said that?
I think it was Cleopatra, but it was sugaring. And so I don't know, they sugared their whole bodies. So now I'm going on to another section, making sure I know exactly which way the hair is growing.
And you guys, there's a Q&A on your screen if you want to ask any questions while Cricket's working, and I'll let him know what you're asking.
Got it a little thin, but I'm not going to worry about it.
So Cricket, Elise, how often do you come see Cricket?
3 weeks.
Yeah, about once a month, I guess.
Okay.
And that just depends on how fast the hair grows for each individual person.
So Cricket, you know, being a girl, you know, like if I'm getting wax and you have the in-betweens and you have an event to do and you have a client that shaves in between, how do you feel?
Yeah. I don't like people to shave in between, but when I said before, now this is my twaxing technique. So I have a long piece, mm-hmm, and so I'm not just going to go, I'm holding the skin taut from the removal point because her hair is coarse. Mm-hmm. You can see little blood dots.
Yeah.
That's how coarse her hair is. Mm-hmm. So I hold the skin taut and then I remove a little bit, move up, hold the skin taut, remove a little bit for as long as I need to, as long as the strip is or whatever, so that I can get the best hair removal. Mm-hmm. If I were to take that all in one pull, I would probably end up breaking 50% of that hair and potentially creating ingrowns for her. This right here is a little tornado. So like I said, I'm persnickety. I really stick to the direction of the hair growth. Especially when people have coarse, dense hair. If it's fine and sparse, it kind of doesn't matter. But when it's coarse and dense, mm-hmm, you really have to honor that direction. And I always pull really taut just because that is what makes it more comfortable for the client. Keeping the skin taut always. And these techniques I'm showing you, you can apply these to everywhere on the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just for the underarm. So just remember that this is not just for the underarm. And especially sometimes the underarm can be a little bit jiggly. So you want to make sure that skin's really taut. Because if you don't, you're going to lift skin, which is going to create what? Hyperpigmentation. So again, I'm going to pull the skin taut, make a little pull. Just always be conscious of your client's skin. Looseness, flexibility, all that kind of stuff. And the other reason I like hard wax is because there's not a lot of cleanup afterwards. I don't have to worry, it's not sticky, it's not tacky. I don't have to go after it with oil or any other stuff that's going to clog the pores and potentially create more ingrowns. Her hair is crazy. It grows all crazy wise. Okay, now we're all done waxing. I'm going to still have you hold tight. Okay, thank you. Is your arm getting?
No. Cricket?
Yeah.
Kristen's asking, do you do the twaxing on the horseshoe area of the Brazilian because it's extra tender, but that's where I end up with a lot more hairs left around the clitoris?
Yes, I have a specific technique. It goes against what I said. On the labia, like are you talking? Yes, you're talking about, I call it the apex right at the top. Is that what you mean?
Kristen, is that what you mean? Let's see, she's gonna type.
Okay.
And then she also asked, what about bleaching creams, especially for, yes, that's what she meant.
Okay. Yes, I have a specific technique that I use, and I do have some online videos that show this technique for removing the wax and making it easier in that area. But essentially, yes, I go down the center and remove in that twaxing technique. So now, once you have your area waxed, and you don't have to clean it, do anything to it because there's nothing sticky. We've used hard wax. Now we're going to use our buff stuff. This is where our MSB Beelicious protocol comes into play. So buff stuff is an exfoliating cream, and you don't need a lot. This is a 1 ounce jar. It's got about 40 applications in it, depending on where you're going to use it, how often you're using. So I've got a large pea size amount here. And what I'm going to do is spread it over the area really thinly, like lotion. And then I'm just going to let that sit for like maybe 30 seconds. And as far as bleaching creams, I really have never used them. So I'm sorry, I don't have any recommendations for you. I think sometimes those kind of chemical things can maybe go to contributing some hyperpigmentation depending on different skin types. They can be too much for people. So what I'm looking for is I'm touching it to see if it's tacky. If it's not tacky, then it's ready. So when your client's doing this at home, it's a little bit tricky. They kind of have to hold their arm up so that it keeps their skin really taut. But she's here in the treatment room when you're doing it for your client. I'm going to have her pull her skin taut that way. I'm going to pull her skin taut this way, and then I'm just going to buff.
And Cricket, Sabrina's asking, does the buff stuff tingle? And then Kristen is asking, is there a back bar size for the buff stuff?
No, it doesn't tingle, and it's perfectly fine to use post-wax. There's no sensitivity. It's very gentle. It works via a pumpkin and papaya enzyme. So it's just buffing off gently that dead skin that is in the way of product penetration, and it helps to lighten the area as well a little bit. And then the second question was, I don't at this point have a back bar size because, you know, the little size is 40 applications. If there's a necessity for that, I could totally, you know, expand to a back bar size.
All right, so Kristen is asking, is it okay to double exfoliate because she was just waxed?
Yeah, like I said, it's really gentle. It's very, very gentle. And although the wax does do a certain amount of exfoliation, and two, I'm going to say it kind of depends on the wax that you're using. If you're using a super sticky wax to where it's really irritating the skin as well, I think it would still be okay. She'd still be fine, but you'd want to kind of do your own analysis afterwards, you know, just to make sure her skin was good. So now you can see there's not a lot of residue left behind. Normally, I would just go ahead and put my Wonder Whip on top of that, but I'm going to show you an option. If you wanted to, if you felt like you wanted to, you could just go over the area with a little bit of toner after the buff stuff. It really doesn't leave a lot of residue. So there's not a lot of mess left behind. I'm just drying the area before I put the Wonder Whip on. Okay, and this is the Wonder Whip. It comes in a 2 ounce, and also this is the retail size. So both of these products are available for you to purchase on my website to retail to your clients. And this does come in a 4 ounce back bar size. And because I'm going to use the MySkinBuddy after this, I'm going to use, this is probably too much, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use a little bit more than I would normally use just for a post-wax situation. And this you can use before and after waxing if your client needs it. I always use it in the Brazilian area before for the labia, especially in all the dry bits. So you want to emulsify it in your hands first. It's going to get really spready. It warms up with the warmth of your hands. Just like that. So then you want to apply it to the area so that you have some slip.
Kristen says she loves the Wonder Whip. She's only had one person say it felt burning and stinging. How is that possible? I know I've never felt the stinging at all with it. What do you think it was? Maybe she had an open...
There's nothing at all in it that would sting. It's all calming, soothing, and hydrating. So now I'm going to do the MySkinBuddy. I'm actually going to do the... I can find it. I never remember what number it is. I want to do the multifunction.
Okay, so that's number 5. Go one more.
One more, okay.
Here we go. Sharon's asking Wonder Whip before and after Brazilian, question mark?
Yes, and so now, as you guys know, you know the MySkinBuddy, it will automatically go for 5 minutes, but the Wonder Whip gives it a lot of slip. But yes, so I use it before to protect and hydrate the skin, because especially the labia and the behind, like the anus and all the dry parts, those can get really dry. And so when we're waxing that, if we haven't protected the skin, then that's where we can get lifting. And then afterwards, I use it to calm and soothe the skin. So it's double duty. You don't need, you know, I don't believe that you need a million different back bar products. You need just a few good ones that are actually going to do what you need them to do. Hydrate, protect, calm, soothe. And the Wonder Whip does that.
Kristen is asking, do you charge an extra amount for this treatment for waxing underarms and Brazilians? Like if you do the SkinBuddy? I guess I would suggest don't. I say give it to them as a treatment.
That's what I do, exactly, because what you're doing, this is helping you to upsell all of these products.
Yeah.
This treatment, you're going to say, hey, you know what? Here's what's going to help you today. I want to give you an extra treatment after your waxing appointment today. It's just going to take a few minutes, and I'm going to show you the products I want you to take home to use in this area to help with your ingrowns, help with your hyperpigmentation. And if you use it in this way, then you're going to see great results. So yes, what Ghada said, you just offer it for free. And it doesn't take very long at all. So that's the whole treatment.